The rain hadn't stopped for hours. It poured endlessly onto the empty streets, washing away footprints, memories, and for one small dog, the last trace of the life he once knew. He sat near the edge of a broken sidewalk, his fur soaked, his body trembling, his eyes fixed on the road ahead. Every passing car made his tail twitch with hope. Every fading sound crushed it again. Because once, not long ago, a car had stopped right there. A door had opened. A hand had reached out. Not to comfort him, but to leave him behind. And then it drove away. At first he thought it was a game. He chased the car as far as his tiny legs could carry him, barking with excitement, expecting it to stop. But it never did. The car disappeared into the distance, taking with it everything he had ever known. Hours turned into days. The dog didn't understand why. He waited, through hunger, through cold nights, through the silence that grew heavier with each passing moment. Still, he waited, because loyalty doesn't understand abandonment. By the third day, the streets had become quieter. The rain had turned into a cold drizzle. The dog's body was weak now, his steps slower, his eyes dimmer. Yet he refused to leave, because somewhere deep inside, he believed his owner would come back. But fate had other plans. That night, something changed. A loud crash echoed through the empty road, breaking the silence like thunder. The dog's ears perked up instantly. His tired body jolted with alertness. Somewhere nearby, someone was in trouble. For a moment he hesitated. Fear whispered in his mind. He had been hurt before. Left behind. Forgotten. But something stronger pushed him forward. Instinct. Heart. Hope. He followed the sound, his paws splashing through puddles, his nose guiding him through the darkness. The smell of smoke filled the air. The closer he got, the heavier it became. And then he saw it. A car had veered off the road and crashed into a tree. The front was crushed, the engine hissing, smoke rising into the night. Inside, a man was trapped, unconscious, bleeding, alone. The dog froze for a second. Memories flashed through his mind. The car, the betrayal, the pain. But this time, he didn't run away. He stepped closer. The man didn't move. His head leaned against the steering wheel, blood trickling down his face. The door was jammed shut. The dog circled the car, barking, loudly, desperately. But the street was empty. No one heard him. He scratched at the door. He bit at the handle. He barked until his throat burned. Nothing. The man was slipping away. The dog looked around frantically. His small body trembled, not from fear this time, but urgency. He couldn't leave. He wouldn't. Then suddenly, he made a decision. He ran. Not away, but toward the distant lights. Through the rain, through the cold, through exhaustion. He ran faster than he ever had before. Every step hurt. Every breath burned. But he didn't stop. Because someone needed him. After what felt like forever, he reached a small roadside shop that was still open. A few people stood inside, unaware of the life hanging by a thread just miles away. The dog barked loudly, desperately, jumping, trying to grab their attention. At first, they ignored him. Just another stray, just another noise. But the dog didn't give up. He pulled at a man's pant leg, tugging with all his strength, his eyes filled with urgency, pleading without words. "Hey, what's wrong with this dog?" one of them said. The dog barked again, louder this time, then ran a few steps away and stopped. He looked back, waiting, begging them to follow. Something about his eyes felt different. Not fear, not hunger, desperation. The man hesitated, then stepped forward. "Let's see where he's going." The dog ran again, checking every few seconds to make sure they were following. He led them through the dark road, through the rain, straight to the crash site. And when they saw it, everything changed. "Call an ambulance," someone shouted. They rushed to the car, pulling at the door, trying to get the man out. The dog stood nearby, watching, his chest rising and falling rapidly. Minutes later, the sound of sirens filled the air. Help had arrived. the man was carefully pulled from the wreckage and placed onto a stretcher. His condition was critical, but he was alive, because of a dog who had been left behind. As the ambulance doors closed, the dog sat there, watching silently. No one noticed him anymore. The chaos had taken over, the urgency had shifted, and, just like that, he was alone again. But this time, something was different. He didn't wait for anyone. He simply turned and walked away. Days passed. The rain stopped. The skies cleared. Life moved on. But in a hospital room not far away, a man slowly opened his eyes, confused, weak, alive. Doctors told him he was lucky, that if help had arrived even a few minutes later, he wouldn't have made it. But who called for help? He asked. The room went silent. No one called. A nurse said softly, "A dog brought people to you." The man frowned. "A dog?" "Yes. A stray. He led them right to your car." Something shifted in the man's expression. A stranger had saved him. Not just any stranger, but a dog. Days turned into weeks as the man recovered, but one thought never left his mind. Where was that dog? The moment he was discharged, he went back to the place where the accident happened. He searched for hours, for days, asking people, looking, through streets, hoping, until one evening, he saw him, near the same broken sidewalk, the same spot where everything had begun. The dog looked thinner now, weaker, but his eyes were the same. Loyal, gentle, hopeful. The man slowly approached, his heart pounding. The dog tensed for a moment, unsure, ready to run, but then their eyes met, and something clicked. Recognition, not of faces, but of souls. The man knelt down, his voice soft. "Hey, was it you?" The dog took a step closer, careful, curious. The man reached out his hand, slowly this time, not to abandon, but to connect. The dog hesitated, then gently placed his paw forward. In that moment, two broken lives found each other, and everything changed. The man took him home that day, gave him food, warmth, a name. But more than that, he gave him something he had lost. Trust. Days turned into months, and the dog transformed. His fur grew back shiny, his body became strong again. But the biggest change was in his eyes. They no longer searched the road for someone who left. They looked at someone who stayed. The man, too, had changed. He wasn't just surviving anymore. He was living, with purpose. Because every morning he woke up to a reminder that even when the world abandons you, love can still find its way back. And sometimes, it comes from the most unexpected place. A dog who had every reason to stop caring chose to save a life, and in doing so, found his own. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because stories like these remind us what loyalty, love, and second chances truly mean.